Big Ed Brown had to make amends with his tearful daughter on the finale of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 Days Season 4, but that was before she had seen the whole season. It was also filmed months before the tell-all special. Ed and Rosemary each had accusations about each other. Big Ed said that Rose had tried to get him back just months earlier, but she denies it. She confirms that she had moved on with a girlfriend. Meanwhile, she accuses Ed of trying to pay her to make nude videos of herself. Sean is back. Sean Robinson returned to host this tell-all, and this time via remote video in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. They all did. Video chatting is how half of the tell-all ended up leaking, but without it, they wouldn't have been able to safely record it all. Obviously, there was a lot about Big Ed. He may have ended up one of this season's villains, but he was still one of the most widely covered and memed breakout stars. Despite his controversies, he still had time to be the voice of reason in the face of some castmates, like David Murphey, who seems to exist on a whole other planet from the rest of us. Obviously, the biggest talk was about Big Ed's relationship. Though Ed somehow still has some fans, many viewers and fans soared on him as his treatment of Rose became more apparent, and especially as they saw how hurt she was by his lies. That didn't mean that things were easy for Rose. Ed's remaining fans have been viewing Rose as the bad guy, some accusing her of trying to use him for money in the same way that he used her for fame. Naturally, they got into it. Even though we all saw a lot of drama play out on screen, it looks like there was even more upset and betrayal when the cameras were no longer rolling. Rosemary had a lot to say. Watching Ed do interview after interview, charming fans and hosts alike with his appearance and self-deprecating manner, was frustrating for Rose, who knew him so well, and who probably recognized the same mannerism that he had used to win her over before he broke her heart. Apparently, Ed tried to get back with her. She would have preferred to be left alone after the breakup, but she says that Ed got in touch with her in February. Ed claims that she is lying. He insists that it was Rosemary who reached out to him, angling for a Valentine's Day gift from her ex back in February. He even claims that his message history can prove it. No, Rose says that Ed's version of events does not reflect reality. This is where his credibility comes into question. Big Ed admitted on camera before he even went to see Rosemary that he was lying to her about two things: his height and his intentions regarding having children. After that, he should understand why so many, including his own daughter, believe Rose over him. Rose says that he wanted her back. Whether because he was lonely or heartsick, or simply realizing that his antics on camera would make him look like the bad guy and wanting to improve his brand by winning her back, Rose says that it was Ed who contacted her. This was painful for Tiffany. Tiffany is Ed's adult daughter and 6 years older than Rose. She was listening the whole time, and when Sean asked how she felt hearing her dad say that he had been prepared to throw away his relationship with her to pursue things with Rose, her voice cracked as she began to cry. So did Ed, sort of. We know that different people cry differently, but Ed seemed to go through the motions of fighting back tears as his daughter cried. He tried to claim that he hadn't really been prepared to give up on their bond, but it seemed pretty clear that Tiffany knows who her father is, up to a point. Then comes the interrogation. Remember when Ed Brown demanded that Rose answer his question so early into his visit? While it looks like he passed that on to his daughter, he demanded to know if Rose really loved her dad. This is kind of expected. People with distant parents often try to find a new bad guy to resent while making excuses for their parents. Rosemary explained that yes, she really loved Big Ed. After all, that is why his revelation about his lies hurt her so much. Meanwhile, Big Ed brings up that Rose moved on and began dating a woman after her breakup with Ed. That was not his story to tell. We get it, Rose is a public figure, but it would have been more tasteful if Sean had asked Rose a question that prompted her to discuss her girlfriend, who is now her ex-girlfriend. Rebound relationships rarely last. Rose confirms it, by the way. She says that she wanted to move on after Ed and clearly does not appreciate that he decided to make a big deal out of it. Ed apparently did not know that Rose is interested in women. Notably, Sean accurately describes Rosemary as bisexual here, but we have not heard Rose use that label for herself. Everyone gets to decide upon their own labels. That was not all, though. Rose then accused Ed of, while talking to her about why she was sad and her personal struggles, asking her to take off her clothes for him on a video chat. He even offered to pay her. Sex work is 100% valid. But it's not something that you suggest to random people, including a significant other or an ex. It's a whole profession. Open your video, get naked now, I'll video you, pay you money. Rose describes Ed as having said to her. Ed responded by laughing and accusing her of making it up. Rose was so hurt. Recalling how much he lied and the way that he had treated her, Rosemary was in tears more than once. She says that she's happy moving on and wants no further contact with Ed. It's over. It didn't work out and I'm sorry. I wish Rose the best life has to offer. I don't want her to be sad or miserable. It just didn't work out, Ed expressed. There is another possibility. What if they made the offer, but Big Ed's inflated ego made him turn down the meager salary that they offered? Maybe he thinks that his next move is Dancing with the Stars or something like that, and isn't willing to record himself for $1,000 per episode. Or it's also possible that Ed will be invited or even has already agreed to the gig. A gig whose existence was confirmed by 90 Day Fiance alum Leda Margaretha, who heard it from Avery Warner, but that his participation hasn't leaked yet. We don't yet know. But before long, we at least expect to know if Big Ed will be doing Strikes Back. If he doesn't, however, it could be some time before an explanation for his absence bubbles to the surface. That's it for now, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to stay tuned.